Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host, identifying as the Barstool Cougar. Every week we meet here and talk about important things and important people like Dave Portnoy and Erica Nardini, Barstool Sports founder and CEO. The main topic of this week's show is pornography. We'll have a titillating discussion about Erica, her interview with porn entrepreneur Caroline Spiegel. It's going to be titillating and exciting, and I hope you'll stay with us. But before that, in a stunning blow to Dave Portnoy, the Cougars announced today that last night's fight between Portnoy and Vlad, the CEO and co-founder of Robinhood, they called it for Vlad. The Cougars I spoke with were particularly critical of Dave's outfit. A white hoodie, one said. Are you kidding me? Dave was totally underdressed for a conversation with Vlad about the L word and collusion. And what's with all the interrupting? Let Tenev talk, they said. Well, Davey Day Trader was out charmed by self-deprecating Vlad Tenov. It's like raging bull kicks Clifford the big red dog. It wasn't a winning strategy for the Cougars, and they called it for Vlad. But despite this rebuke, the pen stock is up, 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 which leads to a conversation about pornography. Erica Nardini's podcast, The Token CEO, is one of my favorites, and this week she interviewed a 23-year-old entrepreneur named Caroline Spiegel, who founded a company called Quinn. Quinn is an audio erotica porn company. Porn by phone for women. It guarantees reliable orgasms for women without the disturbing visuals. It's a good idea, especially in a pandemic. I mean, sex by phone, if you can't sew or sell masks, why not tap into the billion-dollar pornography industry? As Erica pointed out, it's a growing, fast-growing business. $100 billion business. Sure, I can appreciate the business model, and I appreciate the discussion. First of all, feminist theory on a Barstool Sports podcast is a welcome plot twist, and I'm sure the Stoolies were surprised that feminist theory, the male gaze, made it into a Barstool Sports podcast. The male gaze, it certainly raises some interesting questions about smoke shows and rough and rowdy ring girls, but we'll save that for another time. But the pornography business is a business model to respect. It's like McDonald's, billions and billions of people are serviced in the pornography business every year. Like billions and billions of people are served at McDonald's, their greasy hamburgers. Yeah, I appreciate McDonald's, the business model. I very much appreciate the clean restrooms on a road trip, but I don't eat McDonald's hamburgers for many of the same reasons I don't consume pornography. And in this show, I hope to present an alternative, healthier lifestyle to one that is gorging on pornography every day or every minute. You've heard the expression, you are what you eat. Well, pornography is to you like greasy hamburgers are to your arteries. You eat hamburgers and you have a heart attack. Well, you consume a lot of pornography and your heart breaks. It litters your mind. It takes up all the space, leaves no room for imagination, no room for imagining a love story, one that we love, one that stops the camera after the kiss and doesn't resume filming till the next morning over black coffee, a knowing smile, and maybe a smoke. Well, in the podcast interview, Erica and Caroline Spiegel applaud Alex Cooper and other women in the industry who are embracing sexuality and embracing the hookup culture. And I say, okay, sure, embrace hookup culture like you would embrace a lost child. Hug it, it's lonely. But if you want sustenance, If you want real food, instead of a hamburger, maybe a nice lightly sauteed chicken parm over al dente pasta with a side salad chock full of olives and feta, crusty bread, hard cheese, and red wine. If you want sustenance that's going to feed your mind and soul, you have to have an active imagination. You have to have space. If you fill your mind with cluttered, dirty images, there's no room, there's no space. And my advice to you is just like you don't eat 3 bags of chips and expect to feel satisfied, you can't consume a lot of pornography and expect to feel satisfied. It may be a generational thing. I'm Gen X. We're the generation of Aaron Burr. Talk less, smile more. The pro tip from a contented cougar is to say no. Say no thanks to porn. This week's show is brought to you by Smug Ziggies. Organic cannabis wrapped in delicate sheaths of locally sourced paper in the blue, indigo, and marigold packs. Smug Ziggies. Get high and do good. It's that simple. No word this week from Sig Chester, Smug Ziggies investor, but we do have some other exciting news about the show on the new website that is launching any minute now, syndicatemedia.net. You'll find a For Fans Only page. That's right, for Smugsy Fans Only, a subscription site for chicken parm. We also are in the club, Smugsy's in the house. Clubhouse is fabulous. Follow me in Clubhouse at Smugsy. We're going to have our own club, our own rooms. Join me for a conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts about pornography and hamburgers. And this week's poll question, we had an overwhelming response. Thank you to all the fans who participated, who were asked, please pick the best name for our new fan club for people who are not women. And the choices were Smugsy's Cubs, Cougar Cubbies, or Smugsy Boys, SMUGZYBOYZ. Smugsy Boys crushed it. 61.5% of voters picked Smugsy Boys. So welcome, Smugsy Boys. Tell your friends. Subscribe to the show. Follow me on Twitter at SmugsyGirl. And until next time, this is Smugsy signing off. Take care.